Joseph Borrell said European foreign affairs ministers gave their green light to reactivate an EU border mission at Rafah. European foreign affairs ministers gave their green light to reactivate an EU border mission at Rafah, High Representative of the EU for Foreign Affairs Joseph Borrell said. Israel faced new condemnation over strikes on Rafah that local health officials say killed at least 45 Palestinians.
I proposed to the ministers, they gave me green light, the political green light, to reactivate EUBAM, our mission, control border mission in Rafah, which has been sleeping for years, not active. This could play a useful role in supporting the entry of people into Gaza, enter in and out.
Italian Defense Minister Guido Crosetto said that such strikes will have long-standing repercussions. Israel is spreading hatred, he said. He also added that he would have acted differently. Turkish President Erdogan condemned the deadly strikes on Rafah over the weekend. The Turkish leader has stepped up his criticism of Israel following its military offensive in Gaza, accusing it of carrying out war crimes and genocide, something Israel denies. On the second day of a state visit to Germany, French President Emmanuel Macron told a crowd in Dresden that voters and leaders should wake up to fight the rise of the far-right parties across Europe.
Regardons autour de nous la fascination pour les régimes autoritaires. Regardons en Europe le moment illibéral que nous vivons, où beaucoup regardent et se disent finalement, à quelques kilomètres d'ici. Finalement, prenons l'argent de l'Europe, mais oublions l'indépendance des juges. Prenons l'argent de l'Europe, mais oublions la liberté de la presse. Prenons l'argent de l'Europe, mais oublions la diversité de la culture. Prenons l'argent de l'Europe, mais oublions l'autonomie des universités et la liberté académique. Devenue tout entière, Phoenix et leçon d'espoir, une ville d'histoire. Et partout dans nos démocraties, ces idées prospèrent, poussées par les extrêmes et en particulier l'extrême droite. Ce vent mauvais souffle en Europe, c'est une réalité. Alors réveillons-nous.
NATO Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg has urged members to reconsider limits on sending certain weapons to Ukraine. He told reporters in Bulgaria at the NATO Parliamentary Assembly that Russia's attack on Ukraine violates international law and that Ukraine has the right to defend itself.
That I think the time has come to consider some of these restrictions. And some allies have lifted restrictions. Other allies have not. My message is that I think we should now consider those restrictions, because by having too many restrictions, we are tying one hand of the Ukrainian armed forces on their back, because they're reducing their capability to defend themselves.
The issue of sending some military support to Ukraine as it battles the Russian invasion is controversial. Some states are reluctant to provide Kyiv with longer range, more powerful arms that could strike targets deep inside Russia, as they fear this could escalate tensions and risk dragging Europe into a wider war. Others say, however, that Ukraine needs all the firepower it can get to fend off a larger, better armed and resourced opponent.
Left-wing politician Sarah Wagenknecht splintered off from the German Die Linke party last year to form her own party. The Sarah Wagenknecht Alliance, Reason and Justice, BSW, vows to stop weapon deliveries into Ukraine and could promise to split the AfD vote, potentially winning 7 seats in the EU election.
Wir stehen für wirtschaftliche Vernunft, soziale Gerechtigkeit, Frieden und Meinungsfreiheit. Das sind die 4 großen Themen, die wir auch für die Bundesrepublik formuliert haben in unserem Gründungsmanifest. Und das ist natürlich auch das, was wir in Europa wollen.
Deswegen fordern wir als Bündnis Sarah Wagenknecht, Aktiengeschäfte von Politikern müssen öffentlich werden, liebe Freundinnen und Freunde.
Wagenknecht's strategy of promising higher taxes on large companies and wealthier people seems to be working, as the newly formed party won its first victory in local Thuringia elections, the very first election it's run in.
Ob wir sie wählen, das weiß ich noch nicht, aber viele Dinge, die Sarah Wagenknecht sagt, die sind so, leider. Und da die Politik in den vergangenen Jahren so kümmerlichst versagt hat, deshalb gibt es auch diese Partei AfD.
Ich bin völlig Ihrer Meinung und freue mich, dass endlich eine Alternative zur offiziellen Politik vorhanden ist, die sich sehr unterscheidet von zum Beispiel so angeblich hochgepriesenen Nationalisten. Sie ist sehr, sehr vernünftig, sehr schlau, wirtschaftlich orientiert.
BSW could become the top left-wing force in the EU Parliament, seeking to form a new bloc. Yet this could spell trouble for Die Linke due to BSW's strict immigration policies and could impede any merger efforts.
The Sarah Wagenknecht party marries socialist economic policies with conservative attitudes towards immigration, but will this be enough to steer the voters away from populist authoritarian parties in the EU elections next month? Liv Stroud in Hamburg for Euronews.
The Thuringian local elections on Sunday did not see the right-wing AfD party achieve the expected landslide victory. The Christian Democratic Union won the elections with preliminary results of 27.6%, with the AfD in third with 26.4%. But it's not over yet. The party could become the strongest force at the runoff elections. The Thuringian AfD has been classified as right-wing extremist by authorities and is currently under observation.
Dairy farmers have gathered in Brussels to call for a fair income. They first and foremost want an EU-wide regulation to prohibit selling milk at prices that do not cover the production costs. As Karsten Poulsen from the European Milk Board explains, a litre of milk is sold on average at around 40 cents in Europe, while production costs around 50 cents.
We have been looking at the Spanish law that they have done in the UTP, where it's forbidden to sell products below cost of production in all parts of the chain. So from farmer to, if it's milk we're talking about, from farmer or milk producer to the dairy, from dairy to retail.
In some countries like Italy, the gap between production costs and selling price is even bigger.
La necessità oggi media di un'azienda italiana è intorno ai 60-65 centesimi per litro. Attualmente, mediamente, i produttori italiani ne ricavano 50. Abbiamo ancora una forbice di 15 centesimi.
Dairy farmers also ask to be more involved in the drafting of the Green Deal's measures for the agricultural sector.
La manifestazione è partita dal Parlamento europeo di Bruxelles per raggiungere Palazzo Berlaymont, la sede della Commissione europea. I produttori di latte hanno già avuto dei colloqui col commissario europeo all'agricoltura Janusz Wojciechowski e ora vogliono mettere pressione alle istituzioni in vista del voto delle elezioni europee.
Armenia's Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan has met with angry residents involved in a controversial demarcation process that will see Azerbaijan take control of their village. Kirants is one of 4 border villages ceded to Baku earlier this month as part of a normalization process after 100,000 ethnic Armenians fled from the contested territory of Nagorno-Karabakh last year. There have been mass protests demanding Pashinyan step down, accusing him of unilaterally giving away territory without any guarantees in return.
Hospitals are treating hundreds of victims of heat stroke across Pakistan as the country suffers an ongoing heat wave. Temperatures soared above 50 degrees Celsius in some areas on Monday, leading many to cool off by bathing in rivers. Volunteer-led relief camps have also popped up across the region, providing residents with iced water and a place to rest. The heat wave is forecast to continue for at least a few more days.
I'm in Slovakia, a country where disinformation is rampant, especially during elections. The rise of artificial intelligence, media bashing, and foreign influence make this threat even more pervasive.
It's very cheap to influence big masses, especially now in society where a lot of people consume information from various social media platforms.
Many Slovaks are fighting back and offer a glimpse of what the information war could look like as Europeans head to the polls. Watch their story in a new episode of Witness.
The effect of disinformation running utterly unchallenged for the last 15 years has been devastating on social cohesion in Slovakia.
Trending is obviously the Western influence, like that they are through CIA and non-government organizations in Slovakia, that they are somehow connected and they are influencing what is happening in the country.
One has to do with the electoral process. So the electoral process is unfair, ballots are tampered with, people that shouldn't vote are given the right to vote. Then there is, for example, the issue of climate.